Alright, guys. So, as you can see from the title, we got a new fanfiction idea. And this one is Resident Evil Alien vs. Predator. This is one I've kind of thought about a few times. Like, I've kind of thought about, like, doing at some point, but I was like, I never really had an idea, because I was either going to do, like, Alien or Predator. And then I was like, I had this idea of, wait, I can just do both. I had that, like, what is it, that one girl meme. It's like, why not both? So here we are, Resident Evil Alien vs. Predator. Alright, so let's get started. So the story begins in Central America, and basically Chris and a squad are deep in the jungles because they've heard reports that Central American rebel groups have taken control of bioweapons. Like they've taken control of bioweapons and are trying to smuggle them across the border. So Chris is dispatched with his team, and what's going on is that they get to this place, and there's kind of a moment where like the squad is like, like one of the squad members is like, it's kind of funny that that we're doing this. Like we're somewhere near Guatemala. We're fighting rebels, and they have suspected high level weaponry. It's kind of like that event in the 80s, and Chris is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what thing in the 80s? And he's like, yeah, some squad team went into Guatemala to take out, a Russian-backed rebel group, and then something, like the word on the street is, like, the official report was the squad, all but two, one being a POW, and the squad leader, most of their team was killed by the rebels, but, like, the word on the street is that something else attacked them and killed them all. And he's like, well, I've been around enough stuff. And he's like, well, what stuff was he? He's like, they say it was like some kind of alien. And Chris is like, this is coming from a guy who fights zombies. That's a little far-fetched, but sure, whatever. So they get there, and the rebel base is torn apart. Like, someone already got here, and what happened was that they find, like, bodies being strung up and skinned, and that's when Chris's team immediately falls under attack by what else? A predator. So this predator just comes in and just starts like slaughtering Chris's squad, because it wouldn't be a Resident Evil series if Redfield was the only guy to come back. So Chris and his squad are like trying to like take out the thing, because at first Chris thinks it's either like some new weapon from a new biomechanic monster or bioengineered monster, but it's like this thing is way too smart and moving way too fast, and the technology is something even Umbrella wouldn't think of. So as they're trying to shoot it and kill it, this thing is just killing its way through them until finally only Chris is left. The Predator and Chris have a fight, but the Predator then like hangs back because it gets disturbed because a helicopter. He hears a helicopter coming in, and the Predator's just like, "Fuck this," and then cloaks and just bounces out of there. And and Chris gets recovered by Dutch, and he's part of the squad from the group from Predator 2, and Harrigan is with him. So Dutch and Harrigan bring Redfield in, and he's like, I don't know who you are, and I don't recognize your authority. And Dutch is like, he's got his stogie out, and he's like, you're an asshole. I like that. Come on, let's go. It's time you learn something big. There's things bigger out there than zombies. So the Predator like sees Dutch and Harrigan, and like is like it types on its little thing and like starts filing through all like the trophies that got away and like worthy targets, and looks up those two and is like, yeah, I'm taking those skulls. And even Dutch is like, he's probably like, he's telling Harrigan and Redfield like, he's probably, if I know anything, he's probably not, the new guy is probably not too far away watching us right now. He'll probably figure out who we are, and we need to double out of here fast. So the Predator goes off, and because now it knows that, and even Redfield, Chris Redfield is also now a worthy target. But meanwhile, on the other side of the world, in Ukraine, Leon and Claire are on a joint mission with their own squad, because they've been here. Like, there's also been reports of bioweapon attacks on Ukraine soldiers, and it's believed like it's Umbrella level technology. Well, they go down there and they discover it, and they basically like track it to where else? Chernobyl. Like they're like, well, if you're gonna hide a bioweapon in Ukraine, where the hell else are you gonna go? And they already know it's like dangerous and radiation. And when they get there, they see that there was like members of Umbrella or other like this group, and they were like doing deals with the Russian army, but something went horribly wrong. And what happened was something got out, and now it's here, and it's very resistant to the radiation. That thing were xenomorphs, and these xenomorphs they're not infected by the T virus, and we'll get into where Umbrella, like this organization, got a hold of xenomorphs. But for right now, they think it's a new bioweapon, and they start shooting at him, acid blood sprays. Leon gets burned, and they barely get out of there. Because at that point, that's when Dutch's team comes in. Chris is there, and Dutch just tells them, "Looks like we're on a joint operation. Come on, let's go." Stogie? So Dutch just sets the rules of like, hey, here's what's going on. After they get them out of there, they tell them straight up like what Redfield encountered. What is an extraterrestrial that's been here since the 1700s. Like the first believed recordings, even though it's believed like there's rumors that they've been here longer. The first real legit recording of of the Predator, as they call them, they've been of 1716. Now, as for the other thing, and Dutch explains like I've encountered them multiple times before. Harrigan encountered them in 97. I encountered them in the 80s. And what happens is that they also explain like that other and it like even Claire's like, what was that other thing though? Like the thing Leon and I encountered in Ukraine, and he goes, yeah. We don't know what that was, and they're like, it's probably a new Umbrella. It's a new Umbrella creation, and they're like, it's not that, because like Harrigan explains that like we don't know what it is, but we do know it's had contact with the Predators, so it's also an extraterrestrial. And they're like, so how did Umbrella get their hands on that? And they're like, we don't know. We've been focusing on the Predators because we always believed that the life form, the xenomorphic life form, that we've only seen it in like, we don't know anything. We thought it was like something like a scripture or whatever. Harrigan saw a skull of one in the ship he encountered in 97. We don't know anything about them, but what we do know is that the Predators value them as high value targets. So in other words, like all that, if it's here, that's not good for everyone else. And if you saw one or two, that probably means like there's more. Sure enough, in the bowels of Chernobyl, there is a xenomorph queen breeding new forms of xenomorphs, and there basically a new nest is being born. However, while this is going on, the Predator sends a message back, because now it's like told everyone, hey, look what I just found, the Predator comes back this time with a hunt. It manages to get 3 other Predators in a hunting party together in order to track down Dutch, Harrigan, and Chris, and whoever they find. Meanwhile, Dutch, Harrigan, and the members of Chris's crew are all united now, because now they have to figure out what Umbrella's connection is to not just the Predator, because it knew where the bioweapons were, but also what's its connection to the xenomorphs. So they managed to track down, it's somewhere in Eastern Europe, like Moldova, and what they discover is that Umbrella discovered during a research trip they discovered the remains of a destroyed Predator ship and took and excavated it for parts. And what they found was a queen in stasis. And they moved the queen to Chernobyl because, again, the radiation, no one's going to come near Chernobyl. But what happened was the invasion of Ukraine caused, they woke it up. And the Russian army disturbed Umbrella's workings in there. The queen got free and is now, breeding a nest there. The Predators didn't know about this, but now they're starting to catch on that their ship has been defiled. And not only that, the xenomorphs that are now being bred, the facehuggers have more or less been, grabbing onto, because they can't infect zombies, because they're already dead. It's useless. But what they are infecting are other creatures. So now you have new forms of xenos, like a xenomorph liquor hybrid that looks like a skinless xenomorph, and the tongue has the little bitey end on it. It just shoots out its tongue at a longer rate. The xenomorphs are mutating at a higher level. This leads to Dutch and the two teams to go back to Ukraine because now they know what it is, and they can't let the xenomorphs propagate. Problem is the Predators catch them off guard, and they have to fight them, and it's 1-on-4. One of those Predators really is revealed to really have it out for Dutch. Because, that one, it's it shows, it pulls up a image of the Predator Dutch fought, and he goes, oh, you must be related or something, and it's younger, so he's like, oh, you were the son of the Predator I killed. Your dad screamed like a bitch. So, your dad went out like a bitch. And the Predator and Dutch get into this bloody fight between the two. Harrigan and Chris and the others have to fight their way past the Predators. But as this is going on, the xenomorphs are amassing, and they're starting to crawl out of Chernobyl and are moving further into, they're starting to find nests in Ukraine. And they got to keep it contained before the outbreak grows even further. So, Leon has this moment of, well, I hate to say it, but, we need to Raccoon City the area. There's no other way to say it. There needs to be we need to Raccoon City this area, and it won't be a loss of life. The only loss of life will be them. And the Predators are just kind of well, fuck them. We're also gonna hunt xenomorphs. But they quickly realize that these xenomorphs are way more advanced than they're used to. But at the same time, the Predators are this is good. These are trophies that are going to be awesome to have in our collection. So, the fighting continues. The Predators go their own way, and the team goes the other. It's not like a team up here. It's just Predators got distracted by even better trophies. Bye. But the younger Predator does still have it out for Dutch. But he leaves with the others. So, as the two teams converge, the Predators fight their way through the new xenomorphs. You also have xenomorphs that are hybridized with tyrants, or Neptunes, or all these other creatures, and it's just a horror show. But as they go further into it, they find this mutated queen who's the T virus has infected, and is made a huge, almost just disgusting mass of body horror xenomorph queen. And now there's even facehuggers that can grow wings and fly at people. So as they fight their way through, Dutch sees a reactor and is ready to fire at it, but then the younger Predator comes in to try to take him out. So the queen then attacks the Predator fights back, and during all this, Dutch is get the hell out of here! Go! Get to the chopper! And they have to fall back. As they do, Harrigan gets, stabbed by one of the Predators, and he's I'm gonna fucking make you eat these words, pussy face, and just takes out a grenade, blows up the Predator. And Leon, Claire, and Jill and not Jill, Leon, Claire, and Chris get to the chopper just as as an explosion happens, as the younger Predator gets Dutch through the chest, and like Dutch is like laughing at him, and the Predator even says, "What the hell are you?" And he's and that's when he blows up the reactor, killing the mutant queen, young Predator, and himself. Nuclear reaction happens. Chernobyl is doused in more radiation, but the xenomorph plague is destroyed. And the Resident Evil team is just like, I really hope we never have to run into those things again. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Resident Evil AVP crossover. You guys let me know in the comments below. What did you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.